Yo guys, Bennett, RC Jack. How the devil are we? Welcome back to volume 2 of the Bleep and Jeep build. Silly Goose Neck Jeep. As you saw in the last video, we got the body sprayed and some layers of paint on it, and it's come out fantastic. It's been a couple of days of just sitting around, and it will need a flatten off and another going over, just because I'm really fussy and there's some little high rises in it and stuff. But for the minute, I need to get the rear plate made. Now, that's what this video is about. On today's episode of the custom Truggy, I've put the body on. I've already skipped ahead, and here's one I made earlier. And I have drawn around the inside of the body onto the plate. I'm going to get this roughly cut out with a little mini Makita mini grinder. Just roughly, and then flash the lines back to where they need to be, correctly, with a nice sanding grinder flat wheel. Nice and easy. So I'll get this cut out. It'll be a little bit of a montage of me doing it, and we'll get back to getting it on the back of the truck and getting some tubes bent up and welded in this episode. Right, so stand by, watch this space. Little bit by little bit, just to get the majority of the meat off, and then we'll come down to the line once we're there. Right guys, so as you can see, I have cut the bulkhead out. As you saw in the video, a little montage, just a grinding disc to cut it out with, and then to give it just a bit of shape I just use a flat wheel, and it's just great for hand scalloping and just, getting things to where you want them to be. I've drilled 2 holes in the bottom. Right, so next step, same procedures already done. A punch, little workbench hammer. I don't have a stick on it, it's easy just to be used. Flip the body back up. I'm still being very delicate with it, the paint hasn't been drying for very, very long. And then just put it in the hole where I want. Let's go for these outer corners. Right, I'll get this back off. So we are 4 holes. That'll be enough to keep the bulkhead on. Just flatten those edges off. We'll get that bolted on, get some tubes laid up. Right, and then just like that, in the world of editing magic, ba-dam! We've got a bulkhead. I didn't show the laborious bit of all the cutting and fettling and everything, and it didn't take too long with a flat wheel. As you can see, it is on. It's 90% here or there. It still needs little trims off it. This needs going back over with a pen, just finishing off some small bits on it. But apart from that, it is on. I've probably got about a week of thinking whilst sketching some bits together, a week of actually doing, and then I think the trailer will only take a week. I've got the back of it ready. I already have a base plate, leaf springs and an axle to go in. I still need one more bulkhead for this side, although it doesn't have to be stainless, because actually my stainless cage will come off the chassis, whereas this needs to be welded to the cage inside and it'll be hung off this. I don't need as much structural integrity. I'm literally going to build off the chassis the Goose Neck, and the Goose Neck will come right up and over and go to the centre of the roof, and then it will be able to swing all the way round and tow from the front as it can the back. Yeah, I just need the carriage to be, and the neck to be structural integrity sound, like, you know, like it needs to be strong, whereas the body doesn't. The body can just sit on it and look its part. Next step for me is the next sort of like crucial bit. That's the body just plonked on. As you can see, it's not quite level on the sill line. The body needs putting into position where I want it, and then welding. And this is what I hate. This is why this has to be able to be taken off and serviceable and stuff. It's easier to build keeping away from the plastic with anything that gets hot. As you can see, I've got a little jack in there just holding her up. Next step is to weld another tube, just a little piece that big. Ta-da! Just a little tiny piece across the middle here. And then just spot weld it to the bulkhead. So just got a little bit of tube in there, and I'm going to spot weld the tube lying down flat to that. So the plan is spot weld in, put one tiny little tack to it. Boom. That should allow me to undo the 4 nuts. Boom, 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 boom. And slide the body out and off the truck. Gone. Like sound. I can then weld noggins between every bar to the bulkhead. And then the bulkhead is part of the chassis as much as the chassis is. And the main thing is for servicing and getting in there, the body is fully removable at any point. The external cage I'm going to keep until last. I've got my tube for it. 3mm stainless tube with a 1mm hole. 2mm hole, sorry, 3mm stainless tube for the cage. I think it looks nice and scaled to the truck, you know, and a couple of mil smaller than her main tubes. Obviously the back tubes will be 5 by 2, so 3mm thick tube. 5mm obviously round, but the thickness of the wall is 3mm. That's what the back will be made of, the same as what the internal cage is made of. Then I can think about putting some little plates on the side. As you can see, it all fits beautifully snug. It's all made to fit. Once I've got it welded to this back side of the cage, all nice and neat and snug, I'm going to probably weld another plate on here to bring it out, so the inside of this touches the other side of this inside of the door. I can then drill through, mark drill. I can make little square plates, one little square there and another little square there, and I'm going to weld a tube, and then a tube across it, and that will be my cage, start of the cage bars, and they'll come up and round. I'll have another little one there. I've got all this plate on top. There's means to my madness and why I've left it all in there. It allows me to fit some other little square plates on the bonnet, which allow me to run my 3mm cage over that as well. And it's all serviceable. I'll be able to unbolt 2 bolts, 2 bolts, 2 bolts, 2 bolts on the top, 2 bolts on the bottom, and the cage will come off and the body will come off, and you'll be able to drive it like this. But that bit won't be there. It'll be there. Bit of reverse engineering. It is what it is. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you like it. I'm really buzzing with time and stuff. This is the easy bit. This was the easy bit, like setting all this up, and it all follows itself, fully serviceable, and and that way I get to build the cage off some plates that I can make it, and then I can take it off, weld them together, put back in, tweak, weld, tweak, away from the very delicate plastic. And we are back, just like that. And in the magical art of YouTube and editors, here we are. So, although a little bit of a jump, I haven't shown you taking the bulkhead off or lining the jig up. This is where we are at. I didn't want to go too much further without just getting some content for you guys to give you a little bit of an idea of where I go from here. So, these are my scratch weld boards I put in. I change them regularly and flip them over and put different things on them. And you can just mark out, they are connected to the welder via a magnet under here through the cabinet. Because I weld stainless, I need something very magnetic to clip and pin the stainless tubes in position. It's quite awkward because obviously stainless is non-magnetic. So just square up off the bench. I marked the body, just a rough 330mm wheelbase I'm going for. I don't need to know where the front of the truck is, I just need to know where the wheelbase is. We know where the bulkhead was going, so whilst that was attached to the body, I marked the bench. The bonnet is 17 inches, just the end of to the end of the truck, so the back has to be really 17 inches to make the trailer symmetrical. I'm going to run off the door bar, so we've measured the door on the body from sill to the top of the crest is 60mm, and I want the tubes to sit just below that. 63mm to the top, 60mm I want the tube to the top of the tube, and I put the weld in it. So 60mm, yeah, that's where I'm up to. I will move ahead. I will film some welding for you guys. I will get some tubes welded in today, so I will get my top of the expert range videographer, shagographer, Jem, to come in and hide behind the screen and get some detailed welding for you while I get these centre tubes in. I might do a bit of bending, and I'll show you some filming of bending as well today. Like I said, the power of editing. This is 2 days later from when you saw me fit the bulkhead. You'll probably get this video by end of week. Fingers crossed, if I can get this back end section caged in. Either way, you'll see some welding and bending. Thanks, and I will see you in the next section. Well, I hope you enjoyed that montage. As you can see, we've got the tubes on the top. Bottom tubes are in. I've put the cross brace across the back as you saw on the V-hoop. We're all tacked on, and I've placed the body onto the main chassis inside. Next step is to pull the back up, set the height of the body on the frame, so that is correct. Put a tube inside, mark inside exactly where it's going to go on the bulkhead, and then work out how I'm going to get in there and weld. I might have to take the body off and it's going to be very awkward because I've got to set the height of the bulkhead and then hold the bulkhead in position without the body on. This is going to be a challenge. Nevertheless, it's on. I've got the back end, and you could actually use it, as you can see. You could put that on a set of rails. You could just use that as a generic body if you wanted to, which is the best thing about it. You don't have to actually have, at the minute, the inner structure. But once I weld it together, that is it. It's at a 330 wheelbase, which is what I wanted. I don't want it, you know, that's what I want. I like it. The back end is the same overhang length as the front. The gooseneck's going to be bloody massive. It's going to be a whopper of a gooseneck. But at the minute, I love it. I'm glad I didn't go short. I'm glad I didn't bob it off. I'm glad I went full size, keep it full. You know what I mean? A big scale rig is what I wanted. Big scale Truggy, anyway. Yeah, let me know what you think, guys, so far. Put it in the comments down below. Pause the video, write in the comments, yay or nay. Right, this will probably be the end of the video on this section. I'm not going to do any more for a couple of days now anyway. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe. Give a bell notification so you can see all my uploads. Like I say, they're going to be weekly. I promise you they will be there. Hit the like button if you like it. If you've got any constructive criticisms or something you think that I should do better, or your opinion on it, please let me know. I'm all ears. Please put it in the comments. Interact with me. Yeah, I'm eager to know what people think of what I'm doing. And yeah, and for now, this is Bleep and Jeep Gone Bad, Part 2. Out. See you later.